Yo, and welcome back to another Kevin Durant / 2K video. In today's video, we got him maxed overall with max badges, aka 99.9 overall, and max potential. And of course, I got him this time when he was with the Golden State Warriors. And as you guys are about to see, he has gotten much better since the previous video when he was in Oklahoma, just kind of like in real life. You know, he did good in Oklahoma and then transcended even to a better player in Golden State to win his two first championships. Now, just a quick look at the progression. As you see, I got a 96.3, 96 mid, everything pretty much maxed out. Good ball handling, great defense, good finishing, 83 speed, much faster than he was before. And yeah, let's hop into some gameplay. Now we have Kevin Durant on the Golden State Warriors. As we all know, he transferred from Oklahoma to Golden State in 2017 after they just choked the 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors, that 73-9 team that year. All-time record in the regular season. I mean, it was such a good season, good memories. As we all know, that same finals, LeBron came back 3-1 to beat the Warriors. Probably the best finals ever in NBA history, best finals comeback, and etc. But as we all know, later that summer, Kevin Durant did join the Golden State Warriors. Now, at that time, he went from being the most loved player or one of the most loved players in the NBA to one of the most hated players within a second or an hour. Just because he joined a 73-9 team already stacked, and then a player like Kevin Durant joining that super team, it just made him pretty much unbeatable. And as we all know, later that year, they did go on and win the NBA championship. They did end up going back-to-back 2017, 2018. But I just want to talk about that time period where he left Oklahoma. You know, it was him and Russ. He promised Russ that he wasn't going anywhere, that he was coming back to Oklahoma. He wasn't leaving, and then it backstabbed Russ, causing a rivalry between them in those years. And as we all know, they're pretty cool now, but you know, that level of tension and that level of, I don't know how to say it, but that level of disrespect and just trading Russell Westbrook, it's always going to be there for him. However, that being said, though, later that year in those finals, between the next 2 years or the following 2 years, Kevin Durant would average 30 plus points a game in those finals, fairly earning his championship rings and his finals MVPs, although people might disagree. But if you look at the numbers and the way that he played and dominated in those finals, I mean, it wasn't his first rodeo in the finals, too. As we all know, he went to the finals in 2012. LeBron did end up beating him, but that was when he was a lot younger, when he had a younger Russell Westbrook on the team, when he had a younger James Harden on the team. Obviously, Kendrick Perkins in that starting lineup. But really much, it was basically LeBron versus a bunch of young pups in those finals. Then later on in Kevin Durant's Golden State era, we all know he got into an altercation with Draymond Green in the game, basically causing him to pretty much want out of Golden State. But in the 2019 finals, when he got injured, or the 2019 playoffs where he got injured with his Achilles tore, he tried to come back game 3 or game 4, and he ended up making it worse, therefore just sitting out the next few seasons or season. But during that offseason where he left Golden State, and we all know he joined Brooklyn, he just rehabbed, came back better, came back stronger, as we've seen in the last season, in these last playoffs. I mean, I wouldn't say he's better than Golden State KD, but man, Brooklyn KD is still something, you know? But even in those 2017 finals, when it was Curry, Clay, KD, Draymond, and I think at the time Bogut or JaVale McGee was their center, and it was versus LeBron, Kyrie, and a bunch of the old guys, or not really old guys, but a couple of the same faces on the Cavaliers squad. As we all know, they ended up beating them in 5. Not completely sweeping them, but then that same offseason, Kyrie wanted out. He didn't want to be LeBron's sidekick. Went to Boston, basically leaving LeBron by himself in Cleveland, and then making LeBron having his best seasons, or one of his best seasons ever, carrying pretty much a bunch of nobody names into the NBA Finals against that juggernaut of a Golden State squad. But as we all know, they ended up sweeping them 4-0 in the finals. They could have beat them in 5 if JR didn't, run back to half court, selling that game. They could have won that game. But however, KD completely shut down LeBron in those finals. And you can even look at the numbers for that. The way he played in those finals made it seem like he had something to prove against LeBron since beating him in 2012. Like he had something against him, which obviously, you should if you pretty much lost the first time you've ever been to the finals and you have the chance to go up against the same guy. You want that revenge. You want to one-up him. And he did end up beating him, ended up winning finals MVP both seasons, both years. Some people will argue that Steph Curry might have deserved some of those finals MVPs within those 2 years, but I wouldn't agree within those 2 years. I would more agree with their championship run in 2015 when they won against Cleveland. Of course, Kyrie going down, Kevin Love going down in both Game 1 and Game 2. So again, it was basically LeBron versus the Warriors. This was pre-Kevin Durant in 2015. And I feel like Steph Curry should have won that finals MVP instead of Iguodala. The only reason they gave it to Iguodala is because he was stopping LeBron from what he should have been averaging, maybe even 35 points a game. And you add Kevin Durant into the mix. 2017 season, 2018 season, not completely shutting down LeBron because you can't guard LeBron, just like you can't guard Kevin Durant. There's no one way or a certain way to stop them. You can't stop greatness, but you can try to slow it down. And obviously Kevin Durant being more efficient in stopping players and at least slowing them down. Because obviously if you compare Andre Iguodala to Kevin Durant, obviously Iguodala is not what he used to be back in his earlier years, maybe even with Philly, his rookie season. But you can't not take a top 2 or arguably even top 1 right now currently player in the NBA and mesh him with the other top 1 or top 2 player currently in the NBA. You can't just put them head to head and then not expect one to average 0 points. But with that being said, I'm out and I'll see you on the next video.